Welcome to your channel. Hope you are well. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. So today I'm going to talk about faith. Hebrew 11 verse 1. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. So to my understanding, faith consists of three things. That is the word, the confidence or the faith, and then the action. So as Christianity, as we are all Christian, the first thing that came to us was the word. And based on that word, we have the faith, or we have the confidence in that word. So much that we are expecting or having the expectation, which is the action. We are having the expectation that Jesus Christ one day he will return on this earth. And let me give another example. You want to buy a car. The first thing that comes from you is the word. You speak out the word that you want to buy a car, or you have that word in your thought that you want to buy a car. And based on that word, you start now putting the money together, or you start working so much hard so that you can move to the next stage, which is stage number 3, which is the action, which is to purchase the car, the vehicle. I want us to look at the servant of the Lord, Abraham. When God called Abraham, the word came to Abraham, and that word said that go get out of your father's house and go to the land that I'm going to give you. And when Abraham heard the word of God, he started to develop his faith based on that word. So meaning that he knew God. He knew when God speaks something, God will always bring it to fulfillment. So he started to develop his confidence based on that word. Because in Proverbs chapter number 10 verse 22, it says that the blessings of the Lord, they addeth no sorrow, but they always addeth abundance and riches. So Abraham knew that this is God that have spoken, and this God have never failed anybody, and he have never failed any of his servants. So Abraham took action and he moved out. And the same I want to say to you, that God have called you. You are a preacher. So the word came to you that you are a preacher. And based on that word, it is now time for you to develop your faith based on that word. And one thing you should remember is that the word of God, it's always the same. Yesterday, today, and forever, the word of God will be the same. So it is not a disappointing word. And I know that there are challenges. There are the enemy. Now knowing that you have been called, the enemy will step in, will bring interruptions, will bring delay. But the moment you based your trust on the word of God, you will cut off all these arrows of the enemy. You will cut off all these obstacles. So try as much as you can to base your trust on the word of God. Remove all the other things that are busy cutting your journey. Remove them, take them out of your way, and then take action. Start doing, start performing, start preaching. So I also want to give the example of Sarah. Sarah, as we all know, was the wife of Abraham. And before the word of the Lord came to Sarah, there was a time Sarah gave Hagar, her maidservant, to Abraham. And I believe that at that time, Sarah was still having that mentality of saying that I cannot give birth. And then came the word of the Lord to Sarah, and it says that you are going to give birth. And I believe that moment when the word of the Lord came to Sarah, she started to change her mentality. She started to change her mentality based on that word. She started to believe that this is the God. This is the God. That God who opened the Red Sea. So she started to believe that the things that was not possible with me, now they will be possible with me, because the word of the Lord have visited me. So I believe that time when she started to change her mentality, even the atmosphere within her womb started to change. And then came the action, and she gave birth to Isaac. So I'm also having a word for you as a young man, and you want to become a businessman. That don't think that because you are young you are not going to make it. You have your calling. You are a businessman. So that word came to you that you are a businessman. So now, based on that word that you are a businessman, you have to gather all the information that is needed based on that word, based on that business that you want to do. You have to gather all the information. You have to do researches. You have to go to different meetings based on that word. And I assure you, I guarantee you that once you do that, so try as much as you can, try to remove all those other things that are diverting you from you becoming a businessman. And I guarantee you, you are going to move to that next stage, which is stage number 3, and you are going to put those things into action. And then I also want to give the example of you are out there as a you have well advanced in years and you want to study, and then this negative thoughts, or you are having those negative thoughts that I'm too old, I cannot study. But faith, as I have said, it contains 3 things. It contains the word that came to you. Whether you have spoken the word out of your mouth that I want to study, or whether it's just inside your thoughts that I want to study, that's still the same. So try, as I have said, faith is only accomplished by the 3 things. So based on that word, believe on that word, and try to mingle with those people, with other people that have graduated, with other people that are at universities, with other people that are having that same ambition as yours. Try to mingle with these people and cut off the other things that are trying to cut your journey, and then move into action. Start doing that. Then I want to give the example of Moses. Moses, when he came out of the land of Egypt, he was not afraid of King Pharaoh. He was not afraid of him because he had the word of God, and he based his belief on that word, and then he take action. So I also want to talk to you that you are a preacher, and sometimes you are stuck at that point number 2, which is the faith, which is the belief, and you have not yet advanced to point number 3, which is the action, because you are afraid of your competitors. You are afraid of other preachers who are out there. I want to talk to you that if God called you, God knew that you are going to be in the midst of your competitors. He knew it. So please don't let nothing hinder you. Trust upon the word of the Lord, because there are many servants of God out there who are preaching the gospel, and God needs all of them to be on that platform. So let nothing hinder you. So be bold and courageous and move into action. And then my last example, I want to talk about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, they were under the leadership of King Nebuchadnezzar, and that time King Nebuchadnezzar, he set up a statue, and he commanded that all the people, they should bow down to that statue. But these three young men, they refused to bow down to the statue that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And they were brought before King Nebuchadnezzar, and he gave them a warning that if they are not going to bow down to the statue, they are going to be thrown into the fire. And they were thrown into the fire. So these men, they believe upon the word. They believe upon the word because they knew that the word came to them, and the word that came to them, it was not a word, just an ordinary word. This was I can call it an extraordinary word. This was an extraordinary word. So their faith was so much in this word. And this faith of theirs that was so much in this word, it rescued them. God provided an angel and they were rescued. So I also want to talk to you that as a businessman, you are now in your business. As I have said, faith consists of three things. Now you are at that stage of action, and there are many forces. There are many pressure. There are many things that are afflicting you. There are many things that are oppressing you. So base your belief on that word. Base your belief on that word. Try as much as you can to get information of how can I overcome this obstacle. The same way these men did. The same way these men did. So try to see, how do I overcome this obstacle? So whatever challenges that you are facing, look at that challenge and see, how do I overcome this challenge based on that faith you have in that business of yours. So that is the word that I was having, the message. So may the Lord bless you, and see you next time.